Terry Milosky is a journalist and also author of Blood for Blood, 50 Years of the Global Khalistani Project. He's now joining us live on this broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast. This is quite significant, not only for Donald Trump or for Americans, but for the world. He's just signed the executive orders, and he says he's going to stop all the wars happening in the world. What do you make of his speech?
Well, I found it alternatively nauseating and ridiculous. I say ridiculous because many of the promises he made, there's absolutely no substance to them. He's going to get his cabinet to find ways to end inflation and bring down prices rapidly. Nobody knows how to do that. There is no established way of doing that. He's not going to wave a magic wand and end inflation. He makes so many statements that are simply false about, let's say, the European prisons and mental institutions being emptied so that those people can migrate across the United States border. Absolute nonsense. Not a shred of evidence for that at all. One thing that was nauseating instead of ridiculous was in the presence of actual hostage families whose family members, loved ones, are presently being held by Hamas still in Gaza today. He cheapened their standing as real hostages by referring to the people who were convicted of the January 6th riot at the Capitol as hostages, and saying that he's going to pardon those hostages, and on and on and on. And the endless
I actually wanted to ask you about that, because that's a shocking statement. He says that the Capitol rioters did nothing wrong, and he actually does this as sort of a retaliation to what Joe Biden did on his last day. He says, oh, Joe Biden pardoned his family, so why not pardon the Capitol rioters?
Yes, I mean, there's no comparison in the first place. And in the second place, he was going to pardon the January 6 hostages, as he's been calling them for many months, long before Biden pardoned anybody. He finds it convenient to throw that in now. So it is so much nonsense that one piece of good news is that he has backed off on his tariff threats, so temporarily perhaps. He, instead of imposing the grand 25% tariffs that he's been advertising for the past several weeks, that he would impose upon trading partners, including Canada and Mexico, he's going to have his people study the existing agreements and see whether Canada and Mexico are complying with the USMCA, which is the successor to the NAFTA agreement on North American trade. Somebody has got to him and say, oh, you can't promise to bring down prices and then say that you're going to have a trade war where other countries are going to put tariffs on yours in retaliation and drive prices up. You're not going to lower prices that way, sir. So maybe he got cold feet about that. And maybe when he finally gets around to imposing tariffs, they will be lower than what he advertised. We can only hope.